When you are shook by something in a book where it says that you might have some rare malady, see Dr. Foreman, be sure to inform him you have it on very good authority.
Good day, Mr. Mugg. What brings you?
I am exceeding ill, Dr. Foreman. Verily I am. And you know my wife. She is refusing to hear anything about it. 'Tis but another of your delusions, Nicholas, she says. She will not even look at it.
Look at what? Oh, I see. You may pull up your breeches now. Pray let me examine you more closely. Raise your chin, if you please. Now, loosen your garter and remove your stocking. I am afeard this verily is grave. Most grave indeed.
'Tis? Verily?
I believe so, but we must have it confirmed by the stars. Let us consult them now. What explains these swellings that have arisen on various parts of Nicholas Mugg's body? You have scrofula, a disease commonly known as the King's Evil. It is very grave, but worry not, for I have a cure close at hand.
Ah, the King's Evil. 'Tis the ailment that may be cured by the placing of royal hands upon the neck. Oh, you do not mean to say that Her Majesty the Queen herself is at this very moment...
What? No, of course not. I was referring to my famous strong water. A moment, if you please, while I retrieve it from my cabinet. But, sir, unhand it, sir. The dosage is very precise. You must not... nay, not the whole bottle. Ye gods, man, what have you done?
Methinks I am dying.
Oh, woe! A fatal dose! Alas, I am sorry for it, sir, but you were never meant to drink so much of it. Oh, may God forgive me.
Nay, do not blame yourself, Doctor. Thank ye heartily, for at last all shall know, my wife, my friends, how wrong they were, and how I did speak true.
William! Oh, curse it, where is that feckless manservant of mine? William! Go forth and fetch the vicar!
Mr. Foreman, you have been called before this assembly of the College of Physicians to answer the charge of practicing medicine without a medical license. What have you to say in your defense? Would you deny practicing medicine, sir?
Why, no, I would not deny it. My practice is well known. Indeed, since I helped cure the plague of '92 with my strong water...
Then you admit you have committed this most grievous offence.
Ah. Well, 'tis true I'm not technically licensed, but I fail to see how...
You fail to see? Then permit me to enlighten you, sir. A medical license assures the residents of London that a physician has the necessary education and skill to treat them. By practicing without qualification, you have not only broken the law, you have endangered the lives of your patients. Indeed, we have received reports that a man by the name of Nicholas Mugg, a wig-maker of Silver Street, has lately died under your care.
Aye, well, that was most lamentable, but not my fault, sir. Mr. Mugg took a far greater dose of my strong water than I advised him to. He chose the dosage himself. In truth, one might say that the cause of death in this instance was, well, Nicholas Mugg practicing without a medical license.
Silence, Mr. Foreman! Your impudent japery may well be suffered by your patients, but it will not be tolerated here.
I do apologize, Mr. Smith.
Besides the death of this patient, we have gathered ample evidence of your malpractice, Mr. Foreman. Indeed, we have had this illegal operation of yours under observation for quite some time.
'Twas you, Riccardo Ferraro, the merchant from Venice. All along he was you, Richard Smith, the Queen's royal physician. Then I take it, Mr. Smith, you were unsatisfied with the medical care I gave you?
Sir, we are well aware of your occult practices. What you so boldly call medical care was naught but advice conjured up by means of dark magic. You have no understanding of physic or astrology.
But my knowledge of both physic and astrology is unparalleled.
If that is so, then doubtless you will happily submit to having your knowledge examined before this assembly. Silence! Simon Foreman, it is apparent your answers were given to you by demon spirits that you have been communing with under the table. Constable, shackle this man and take him from hence to jail.
But, sir, this is most unjust. Pray afford me the chance to unhand me, you rogue.
Alice Black, she feels no shame, and forsooth is she to blame. If we were her, we'd do the same. Alice Black, she feels no shame.
Good day, Mistress Blagg. Before we start, I must thank you for having used your influence to help me resolve my recent difficulties.
Say nothing of it. Those doctors and their College of Physicians. Naught but a band of piss-pot sniffing bullies, so they are. Besides, I needed you out of prison so that you might read the stars for me.
I see. And what would you have me advise you on?
What know you of Richard Bancroft, the Bishop of London?
Not much, in truth. But I did attend the Easter service at St. Paul's. I found the bishop's sermon on the virtues of chastity and abstinence most compelling. Why, you know him well?
Not very well as yet. I was seated beside him at an Episcopal dinner Saturday last. We discoursed a while. Bishop Bancroft is a most charming man. But there was a moment when we did both reach for the brandy decanter. Our eyes met, and I felt something.
'Twas a spark between you and the bishop? You felt a certain frisson in the air?
Nay, I felt a certain hand up my skirts, more like.
His Grace put his hand up your skirts! Madam, may I say how—
Save your congratulations, Foreman. The bishop's not in the bag yet. Hence why I am come to you. Now that I have piqued his interest, I would have the stars tell me how to secure it.
Then you wish to pursue an amorous affair with Bishop Bancroft. But what of your husband, Dean Blagg?
Oh, do not speak to me of my husband. Thomas Blagg is not fit to secure his wife's future. He is not fit for many of his marital duties, truth be told. But you did warn me of Blagg's financial ruin, and for that I am grateful.
Forsooth, I am glad I was able to be of service to you, Mistress Blagg.
Speaking of such, let us press on with this day's readings, if you please.
Of course, let us consult the stars. How may Mistress Blagg secure the lasting affections of Richard Bancroft, the Bishop of London? stars advise you to conduct your wooing of the Bishop Bancroft with constraint and discipline. You must be strict. Allow him no intimacies.
I see. Keep the bishop's hands off me till he begs for it. Until he be driven so mad with lust he would offer anything for a tumble.
'Tis one interpretation, certainly. 'Tis true that Lady Anne Boleyn found success with such a stratagem in her pursuit of the late King Henry Tudor. At least, up to a point.
Aye, poor lady. Be there anything else?
My chart does also advise you to adopt a manner that is quiet, gentle, and demure.
Verily, I will not lie, this is beginning to sound like a cod's load of work. Mayhap I play dumb with the bishop and merely nod and smile at everything he says. But 'tis the stratagem used by Jane Seymour, I believe. And unlike Anne Boleyn, she bagged her king without losing her head, did she not?
Lancelot more, lovely his passion, lacking in mind, fulsome in fashion, the unwise truths told him much hurt, he yet persists in chasing the skirt.
Good day, sir, and well met. Oh, pray tell, did you secure the hand of the golden-haired maiden?
Yea, verily I did. But 'twas through luck alone, for though your advice to impress her with jewels and manly pursuits was most excellent wise, she took ill against me. She even called me a peacocking bear-botherer. But luckily, her father shares my love of rough sports and was greatly impressed by my semblance of wealth. He promised me her hand in marriage, and I was made the happiest of men.
Then I must congratulate you on your forthcoming nuptials. Will you be having a summer wedding, or...?
Congratulate me? Do not congratulate me, Foreman, for I am the unhappiest of men. It was but a day after our engagement was announced that my love became afflicted with the smallpox. Naturally, I was all a terror. Would she perish? So wretched was I with fear, I almost died of fright.
Aye, naturally. Smallpox is a most terrible disease. I intend to write a small treatise on the subject.
But then, alas! Fate struck the cruelest of blows upon my soul.
Oh, verily. Poor girl. May she rest in peace. Or re-squeeze in pace, as we Latin scholars say.
What? Nay, death would have been a mercy. For once cured, the maid arose from her sickbed bearing hideous scars. Her once fair cheeks, thus so cratered, to make the very moon wane with envy.
I see. And now you wish to extract yourself from your engagement, I presume.
Naturally. But her brother and father are fearsome men with a taste for rough sport, and her mother's tongue is as sharp as a barber's blade. I worry that my breach of promise may be taken ill.
Then let me see if I may fathom the family's reaction from the stars. What will become of breaking your engagement to this once fair, now pox-scarred maid? good tidings! While the family may well take your decision ill, good angels guide them toward restraint and discipline in their actions. The maid herself will endure it with quiet forbearance.
Quiet forbearance? By the saints, what a wondrous creature is she! Verily, I am disappointed that I must break off with her, for truly there is no mountain I would not climb, no trial I would not endure to wed a maid of so sweet a disposition. But I must be brave, and go at once to break the news to her.
Glory, glory to the Lord. Archbishop Whitgift. Glory to the Lord in the highest position in the church, except for the Queen. Glory to the Lord, Archbishop Whitgift.
Ho! Ho there! Be there anyone at home?
Is it? By the saints, 'tis none other than Archbishop John Whitgift. Your Grace, I am most honoured by this most unexpected visit.
Truly, 'tis most unexpected, as I just so happened to be passing by. Indeed, I was riding by in my carriage when I found myself struck ill. My chaplain did suggest I take rest at the nearest residence, which did so happen to be this small dwelling. Forsooth, these rooms have the look of a physician's consulting chambers. Mayhap you are a doctor? If that be true, then praise be to God for this happy coincidence.
A most fortunate coincidence indeed. I am Simon Foreman, a doctor of astrology and physic. At your service, Your Grace.
Well then, Dr. Dr. Foreman, was it? Perchance you will tell me what ails me. I feel a kind of pain and heaviness in my side, and I know not if this be related, but my skin has of late become most unattractive in appearance.
Pain in the right side of the body and sallowness of the skin?
Her Majesty did remark upon it most wittily the other day at a meeting of the Privy Council. Your face does serve as a warning to us all, Archbishop.
Her Majesty the Queen, verily. A moment, if I may, Your Grace, while I consult the stars. What does cause the suffering of His Grace, the Most Reverend John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury? You are afflicted with jaundice, Your Grace. Yellow bile has seeped into your skin, causing it to become yellow-hued in appearance.
'Tis the jaundice, is it? I see.
Pray, have a servant boil this pouch of herbs in water. The liquor is to be injected up the fundament once each day. It should draw the collar away from your skin and into your bowels. William!
Excellent. I will have my chaplain see to it. My, who do we have here?
Before you take your leave, Your Grace, I would have my manservant William let blood from your right arm.
Indeed. Very well, then.
Before you depart, Your Grace, perchance I might trouble you with a request of my own?
Good day, sir. My chaplain will settle payment with you anon.
What does it matter if errors he makes? Let others mend all the things their six breaks. Our Lord has much to gain, the risks she takes. Commoners may pay, but nobles only learn from their mistakes.
Good day, my lord, and well met. Indeed, methinks I have not seen your lordship since last year, afore you set off with Sir Walter Raleigh to capture those Spanish treasure ships.
Ah, yes. Doubtless you heard what became of that expedition. The town criers called it Raleigh and Essex's gold piracy fail, declaring it the biggest balls-up since the English Armada.
Aye, 'twas most ill-mannered of them, if I may remark.
'Tis all Raleigh's fault, of course. For when I revealed that I had gotten our navigational directions from you, he had our men turn the fleet around and sail in the opposite direction. 'Twas his navigation that got us lost. Our ships ended up becalmed in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, leaving England undefended. Who is the beef-headed chudlord now, eh, Raleigh?
Well, indeed.
Of course, Raleigh refuses to apologise, and we are no longer on speaking terms.
Alas, 'tis most lamentable you were unable to use the directions I gave you. Well now, how may I assist you this day?
I would have you tell me how I might regain the favour of the Queen. Indeed, 'tis strange she has not yet gotten over her displeasure, for the incident did occur many months ago. And we had every intention of returning her warships, filled to the brim with gold, I might add. Besides, how in the devil's name were we supposed to know the King of Spain would choose that very same month to invade England? I have not the power to predict the future.
Well, nay, but I have, my lord, if you had asked me to.
Verily, 'tis not to be borne. Only last week at a meeting of the Privy Council, during a minor disagreement regarding the Catholic rebellion in Ireland, she called me an impudent lord-splainer, whereupon she rose from her chair and molly-whopped me in the face. I half drew my sword upon her.
You mean the Queen?
Aye, indeed. Her behaviour was most shocking. I even asked the royal physician whether she may have lost her mind. She is, after all, most elderly. But Mr. Smith assures me she is in very fine health and is in full control of her faculties.
Her Majesty's behaviour is a mystery indeed, although mayhap it should not surprise us. A man's reason is oft insufficient to fathom the workings of the feminine mind, and, in such cases, he may have little choice but to call upon divine wisdom. To wit, let us see what the stars can tell us. What must Lord Devereux do to regain the Queen's favour? To regain the Queen's favour, you must demonstrate your fealty to her, your loyalty as a peer of the realm who sits on her privy council. To this end, the stars suggest you offer to lead a military campaign to put down this Catholic rebellion in Ireland. Your lordship is, after all, a great military leader. What better man for such a task than the hero of Cadiz?
Verily, 'tis no ill idea. 'Tis no ill idea at all. Yes, indeed, I shall offer to put down the Irish for her. Forsooth, how difficult could such a mission be? I shall quickly defeat those fen-sucking muck-savages and be back home by Christmas. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Godspeed, my lord.
Disapproves of Mary for her views, they make him sick, but pray he does not tell her lest she punch him in the punch him in the
Good day, Mistress Payne. How may I help you this day?
Bless blessed day, Dr. Foreman. I am just come from taking my niece to visit Rochester Cathedral. Thomas Blogg is the cathedral's dean, I believe. Know you of Dean Blogg?
Aye, I know something of him.
Verily, that man is a model to us all. Under his stewardship, the cathedral's decadent furnishings have been stripped away. He has even replaced the silver candlesticks with pewter. Such pious modesty in the sight of God.
Has he indeed? How very interesting. And godly, yes. But what is it that brings you this day?
Before I begin upon my business, Dr. Foreman, I must insist you acknowledge your failings. You were most wrong to frighten me with these notions of England being invaded by the Spanish.
Ah, yes, that. Though, to be fair, I do not think anybody could have predicted the storm that sunk the Spanish ships. It was most unexpected.
And we must give thanks to God for the divine vengeance he wrought upon the heretics. I did hear that by morning our beaches were verily littered with the corpses of Spanish sailors. Praise be to the Lord, his glory to behold.
Yes, praise be. But all the same, you seem anxious this day, Mistress Payne. What is troubling you?
Indeed, I am troubled, Dr. Foreman. I fear for the Queen's health. Everyone is saying that as she is exceeding old, she is soon to die.
Ah, yes, I quite understand your feelings, madam. How we love our good Queen Bessie. Long may she reign. But will she? That is the question, is it not? For she cannot live forever, and when at last she does expire, we shall be stricken with such lamentation and grief.
Mayhap you, but not I. Elizabeth Tudor is naught but a sceptred whore, but still a whore who presides over the Church of England and keeps Rome at bay. And without an heir, who knows what manner of foreigner may succeed her when she dies? For all we know, he may flood the land with foul popery.
Foul popery? I take it you do not care for dried floral arrangements. But, madam, surely fresh flowers are more customary at royal funerals.
Did you not heed me, Mr. Foreman? I wish to know whether the English throne is safe from a Catholic successor.
Ah, yes, of course. Then let us consult the stars. Is our Queen's long reign in danger of ending soon? And if so, do we risk a Catholic succeeding her to the throne? I am afeard the stars say nothing of how much longer Elizabeth Tudor's reign will last. But when our Queen finally does expire, 'twill be most ill for us. For her successor will take England to war and tax us mightily to pay for it. We have naught to look forward to but a future of violence and austerity. I am sorry to be the bearer of such lamentable tidings, madam.
Lamentable? I suppose it might be. It would depend on whether English blood is to be spilled in the righteous service of God or in service of the Antichrist in Rome. To it, is our new sovereign to keep to the English Church, or will he be a Roman Catholic, Dr. Foreman?
My chart is not clear on this question, though it does indicate that Elizabeth's most likely successor, King James of Scotland, has a deceitful nature. Mayhap he hides secret Romish sympathies?
Mayhap? Mayhap is no answer at all. Verily, Dr. Foreman, your stars have been of very little use to me this day. Very little use indeed.
Lancelot more noble, more blood, much of it lately spilled in the mud. Had some different choices been made, might Lancelot have been spared from the blade.
Good day, Mr. Moore. How fare you this fine Tuesday? Oh, on my word, you do not look well. Your face is very pale, and I detect a foul odour.
'Tis true I fare not well, but there is no reason to be rude about it, Foreman.
Sir, I was merely expressing my concern. You appear stricken with fever, and, methinks, an infected wound.
Aye, I shall undo my breeches for you. There, do you see?
My, I do see. 'Tis a knife wound by the look of it.
The barber surgeon did stitch it up, but now it does ooze this noisome green stuff all over my fine linens. So I came to you.
And you were very right to do so.
Aye, I was, because I think it only fair that you fix it. After all, this is all your fault, Foreman.
My fault? Sir, I do not follow.
You told me I had nothing to fear from that wretched maiden's family when I broke off my engagement, but you were wrong.
Then I am most sorry for it. I gather the family did not take the news philosophically.
Verily, they did not. The maid herself wept, as is to be expected, but the father took it most violently. He called me an oath-breaking chudlord, whereupon he laid hands upon me and threw me out onto the street.
Indeed.
But 'twas not the end of it. For some weeks later, I was set upon by the maid's brother and his band of knaves. They left me for dead behind an alehouse. If I had not been discovered by the night watch, I might have died.
Sorry business indeed. I will have my manservant William clean your wound and apply a balm to it. But pray tell me more of your fever. How oft does it come?
Well, I did not have this fever yesterday, and I was well enough to go to church on Sunday. Oh, and to the theatre the day before. But Friday last, I was stricken abed with it.
Fever this day and Friday last. Now mayhap we consult the stars. What kind of fever has Lancelot Moore? You have the tertian fever, a fever that comes every 3 days. It causes rigour and vomiting, headache, and a sharp heat that runs throughout the body. First, William will bleed you.
God's breakfast. Do you not know your numbers, Foreman? As I did expressly tell you the last time I had this fever, 'twas Friday. Tuesday is 4 full days after Friday, not 3. Oh, yea, verily, there are times when I do not think you pay sufficient heed to what I say, Foreman.
Rejoice, rejoice in the Lamb, served by Archbishop. To his guests for dinner at his palace in love. Rejoice, rejoice in the Lamb, and beef, and fruit, and the swan pie.
Good day, and well met, Lord Archbishop. What a pleasure it is to welcome your grace once more to my humble consulting chambers. Do you ail of something, sir?
Nay, I am in good health. I am come for information. That is, I am come for an astrological reading concerning one of my deans, Thomas Blagg, the Dean of Rochester Cathedral. I hear you are acquainted with him, are you not?
Yes, so please your grace. I am honoured to say that Dean Blagg is one of my querents.
I see. What a remarkable coincidence. Then you may know that Dean Blagg has been petitioning me to promote him to the rank of bishop, specifically to grant him the vacant seat of the bishopric of Salisbury. I wonder if you, that is, if the stars and planets and so forth, might tell me if there be any reason why Thomas Blagg might not be a fitting candidate for such a position of responsibility.
I see. Then let us see what the stars can tell us. Should Thomas Blagg, Dean of Rochester, be made the Bishop of Salisbury?